The Orlando Magic have a huge offseason ahead of them. They have a very nice young core, in fact, one of the best young cores in the NBA, but this will probably be one of the last seasons that they are picking in the lottery, and they have two picks, actually, that they need to help surround their young superstar Paolo Banchero with even more talent than he already has. Young star Franz Wagner just had a big-time year. Wendell Carter Jr. is a big piece for them as well. And then you've also got Markelle Fultz, who's really reviving his career in Orlando as well. So, before we get started, make sure to like button, make sure to leave me a comment down below, and hit the subscribe button. Also hit that bell, as all three things will really help us out in the YouTube algorithm. Now let's go ahead and get started looking at the off-season guide for this squad. Like I said, they have two lottery picks at number 6 and number 11, and then they also have a second-round pick down at about 36. They have $28 million to spend in cap room, so maybe you can sign a pretty good free agent, but you also have team options on guys such as Jalen Suggs, Franz Wagner, Cole Anthony, and then Mo Wagner will be hitting, I believe, restricted free agency. So, obviously, you're probably going to be trying to bring all those guys back. You're trying to retain that young core and add on to it. This year, you're going to be improving through the draft, and then years after, you can finally start to make some decisions on that young core. Let's go ahead and start talking about the draft, though. For me, at number 6, this is a no-brainer. Grady Dick is my number 6 prospect in this draft. They need an elite shooter. They need help at the 2-guard spot. Really, all they have there is Gary Harris, so they can pick up a guy that I think will be their starting 2-guard for a while. If they bring him in, he averaged 14 points and 5 rebounds this year for Bill Self at Kansas as a freshman, and shot at 40% from 3, one of the best freshmen in all of the country this year. He's 6'8" as well, and as Dick Vitale said, he's got a very easily repeatable, very smooth shooting stroke that not many people can contest. As you can tell, I'm a big-time fan of Grady Dick in this year's draft. Another guy that they could look at is Azar Thompson. Of course, the twin brother of Amin Thompson. However, he is not as good. Absolutely freakish athlete. Once they step into the league, they're going to be some of the best athletes in the league. But Azar can't really shoot. And that happens to be quite valuable in today's NBA. Now, he was dominant in the Overtime Elite League. However, some question marks are being thrown out as to the legitness of that league. I'd definitely take Cam Whitmore before I took Azar Thompson at 6, but I think that Cam is actually going off the board at 5. I've got him as my number 5 prospect going to the Detroit Pistons. Another big body athlete, 6'7", about 235, built like a bowling ball, but he jumps like a kangaroo. Tough shot maker as well. I mean, it's very hard to contest him, especially when he gets into his step back series. I mean, it's tough. I mean, that shot's going up, and he's a guy that can really elevate it when he shoots the jumper. So we'll see what happens. At number 11, there are quite a few options, but my favorite two are Jordan Hawkins and Nick Smith. Nick Smith, a guy that really got injured early in the year, so maybe they stay off of him. He's a guy that could either get taken very high due to the potential or could fall due to injuries. So Nick Smith, a guy there. And then the other one here is Jordan Hawkins. I like Jordan Hawkins a lot for the Orlando Magic, similarly to why I like Grady Dick for them. They need shooting. They need young 2-guards, and Jordan Hawkins at 20 years old, He's not a stranger to shooting the ball. He will pull it from any and everywhere on the court and hand down, man down, because he can catch it. He can go side to side, east, west, north, south. However, he needs to get the ball. As soon as it touches his hands almost, it's going up. So Jordan Hawkins, I like him a lot for the Orlando Magic. I mean, it's not like he is a shot chucker. I mean, he shot at 40% from 3 almost this year. Looking at number 36 here, a few guys I think they could take. Terquavion Smith I don't think falls, but Jalen Wilson's a guy they could look into. He's probably going to be still on the board. Maybe you pair him back up with Grady Dick. They were pretty successful at Kansas together, although they could not get out of, the Sweet 16? They ran into that UConn team, Jordan Hawkins and company. City Sissoko, I believe is how you pronounce it. I'm not 100% sure there. Out of the G League Ignite. He's an intriguing prospect, but he's definitely a guy that will take a little while to develop. But the Magic have plenty of time. Their timeline is, they're not trying to win now. I mean, they still got a year of development. Now, next year they can make a play-in push, but I'm not saying that this is going to be a team that's trying to get to that NBA playoff already. Now, Terquavion Smith, like I said, a guy that I don't think ends up falling, but, if he does, it would be interesting to see how how he fits here in Orlando, because another guy that can shoot it. They need more two guards, and I think that'd be a nice fit for them if they do give him time to develop. Now, the team options. Franz Wagner, we're accepting. I mean, that's not really a discussion. Franz Wagner, one of the better young small forwards in the NBA. He's a guy that you got to keep around, no questions asked. Now, Cole Anthony, maybe you can ask a question there, but I'm still accepting that. He's still a young point guard, and he kind of came into his own towards the end of the year this year. Got the efficiency up, and he was playing much better there at the end of the year. Now, Jalen Suggs, a guy, his defense has been ahead of his offense so far in his NBA career, but that's not to say that his offense can't catch up. A guy that has a lot of potential still, was a top 5 pick for a reason, and obviously you're going to be accepting his. Now, the Mo Wagner situation. What are you doing with him? I'm bringing him back, keeping his brother happy for one, but also bringing him back 10.5 points a game, 4.5 rebounds, 1.5 assists. Good year for Mo Wagner this year. A guy that, maybe the Magic didn't quite think was going to play that much when they brought Bobo in, but as the year progressed, he got more and more PT and made the most out of it. 50% from the field and 31% from 3 this year in limited minutes for Mo. He's a guy I'm bringing back. Now, the other free agency decisions, I'm not sure what you do. Do you make a splash? I don't think so. In my opinion, maybe you go for somebody, a veteran you could bring in, a veteran wing that you can bring in that can score it and shoot it. But I think you probably start to save money looking ahead at the future. If you bring somebody in, it's maybe on a 2-year deal, but you're looking ahead at the future, seeing all these young guys that you got to bring back, and you're going to go ahead and start saving up some money. And then, of course, Jonathan Isaac being back as well. Maybe you end up looking to trade him. We'll talk about that in a second, though. Looking at the lineup for next year, this is what it's looking like, in my opinion. You've got the reigning Rookie of the Year and then the runner-up for Rookie of the Year 2 years ago in that starting lineup, as well as another former number 1 overall pick in Markelle Fultz. Whole lot of youth here, but Markelle and Wendell have really been coming into their own, in my opinion, as very, very solid role players for this Magic team. They're not going to be a superstar, but they're guys that can go out and get you 13, 14, 15, maybe even 16 or 17 points a game, and they can do it very efficiently while Paolo and Franz lead the way. Grady Dick, I think he's going to fit in very nicely at the 2-guard spot, a guy that can really shoot it. The defense it'll progress, but he does a lot of little things on the court, on offense, and so I think that's a guy that you've got to look at as, hey, he really helps you out. You look at the plus-minus, he helps you out a lot. Now, coming off the bench, you got Cole Anthony, you got Jordan Hawkins, Jonathan Isaac, Bobo, and Mo Wagner. Now, I get it. If you want to have Jalen Suggs in this lineup, very valid argument to make. I've got him as their number 3 point guard right now. Maybe you bump him up over Cole Anthony. You also got Jordan Hawkins in there at the backup 2. Jonathan Isaac, Bobo. I think this is a very good backup unit. If healthy. If Jonathan Isaac can stay healthy, that helps him out a lot, because I still really like Jonathan Isaac. I hope he still has a little bit left in the tank, because he can be a very, very solid NBA player in today's game. And then the last few guys here that we haven't talked about yet, of course, like I said, Jalen Suggs. You also got Chuma Okeke and Gary Harris. So we'll see. I mean, the Magic have a lot of young guys with talent, which, of course, is not exactly a bad thing to have when you're an NBA team. Y'all let me know your thoughts on the Orlando Magic and their offseason down in the comments below. Make sure to like button and leave me a comment. Also, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell if you want to see more NBA offseason content. And with all that being said, thanks so much for watching today's video.